Have you felt like things just aren't working the way they used to? That moment of intimacy you look forward to suddenly feels like trying to climb a mountain you just don't have the strength for anymore. It's a quiet frustration, isn't it? A feeling that maybe, just maybe, your best days are behind you in this one important area of life. You look in the mirror and wonder, what happened? You might have tried things, maybe even talked to a doctor, but sometimes the answers feel complicated or just don't seem to stick. It's a painful reality for so many men as they get a bit older. That spark, that connection, it feels like it's fading, and you might not even know why. Well, what if I told you the why might be sitting right there on your dinner plate? It sounds too simple. I know. We often think of this problem as purely a medical issue, or just an inevitable part of aging. And yes, age is a factor in many things, but what you put into your body has a massive impact. And some common foods you might even think are harmless or even good for you, could actually be silently working against you, making those moments you crave much harder to achieve. It's like pouring sand into the engine instead of oil. Over time, things just stop working smoothly. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on 5 specific foods that are notorious for throwing a wrench in the works when it comes to getting and keeping a firm erection after 60. These aren't obscure ingredients. They're things many of us eat regularly. Stop eating these, or at least drastically cut back, and you might be surprised at the difference it makes. Watch right to the end because there's something that will surprise you. Something that connects all of this together and gives you a simple path forward. Let's dive right in. And the first food group we absolutely need to talk about, the one that's often a staple in many people's refrigerators and lunchboxes, is processed meats. I'm talking about things like sausages, bacon, deli meats, hot dogs, things that have been cured, smoked, or otherwise processed to make them last longer or taste a certain way. Now, I know what you're thinking. These are convenient. They taste good. Maybe you've eaten them your whole life. What's the harm? Well, the harm comes from a few places. Processed meats are often loaded with unhealthy levels of sodium. Too much sodium is terrible for your blood pressure. High blood pressure damages your blood vessels over time, and healthy blood vessels are absolutely critical for erections. An erection happens because blood flows into the penis and gets trapped there. If your blood vessels are stiff, narrowed, or damaged, that blood flow is restricted. Think of your arteries like flexible garden hoses. High blood pressure turns them into old, rigid pipes that can't expand properly. And guess what your body needs for an erection? Lots of healthy, flexible hoses, delivering blood flow on demand. Beyond the salt, processed meats are also typically high in saturated fats and sometimes even trans fats, especially the cheaper varieties. These fats contribute to plaque buildup in your arteries, a condition called atherosclerosis. This is the same plaque buildup that can lead to heart attacks and strokes. But guess what? The blood vessels in your penis are much smaller than the ones leading to your heart or brain. They are like the tiny little tributaries off the main river, so they are often the first place to show signs of this vascular damage. Plaque buildup here means less space for blood to flow through, even if your heart is pumping away. If the pipes are clogged, not enough gets to where it needs to go. It's like trying to water a garden with a hose that's full of kinks and blockages. You just don't get the pressure or the flow you need. And then there's the issue of nitrates and nitrites, chemicals often added to processed meats as preservatives and color enhancers. While the science on these is complex and evolving, some studies link high consumption of processed meats with nitrates to negative health outcomes, including effects that could impact vascular function and inflammation. Inflammation throughout the body is another silent enemy of erectile function. Chronic inflammation damages blood vessels and disrupts the delicate balance of chemicals your body needs for a healthy erection, like nitric oxide, which helps blood vessels relax and expand. Processed meats are basically a triple threat: bad for blood pressure, bad for arteries, and potentially promoting inflammation. So, what does this look like in practice? Swapping out that daily bacon sandwich for breakfast. Choosing fresh chicken or fish instead of deli ham or turkey for lunch. Opting for homemade meals with unprocessed protein instead of sausages or hot dogs for dinner. It's not about never ever touching these foods again. Though limiting them as much as possible is certainly wise. But recognizing that making them a regular part of your diet is actively harming your ability to get and maintain an erection. Think about those times you really hoped things would work. Was that after a breakfast full of sausages and bacon? Maybe. Start noticing the pattern. What if instead you had scrambled eggs with some spinach and a bit of avocado, or Greek yogurt with berries and nuts, fueling your body with things that help blood flow rather than hinder it? It's a simple switch, but it's incredibly powerful over time. Now, moving on from processed meats, there's another category of foods that are just as damaging, if not more so, for your blood vessels and overall health. And unfortunately, they are absolutely everywhere. And these are fried foods. Oh, the crispy goodness, the satisfying crunch, French fries, fried chicken, donuts, potato crisps, anything that's been deep fried to golden brown perfection. The problem here isn't just the oil itself, though the type of oil used and how many times it's been heated matters a lot. The primary issue is the creation of trans fats and the sheer amount of damaged, unhealthy fats these foods soak up. Trans fats are the absolute worst type of fat for your heart and blood vessels. They increase bad cholesterol, decrease good cholesterol, and contribute significantly to inflammation and plaque buildup in your arteries. Remember that garden hose analogy. Trans fats are like actively trying to clog it up with sticky grease. When you eat fried foods regularly, you are essentially bombarding your system with ingredients that are designed to damage your cardiovascular system. And as we've established, a healthy cardiovascular system is non-negotiable for healthy erectile function. It's not just the immediate effect, it's the cumulative damage over months and years of regular consumption. That plate of chips with lunch, the occasional takeaway fried chicken dinner, the morning donut. They all add up. They are directly contributing to the hardening and narrowing of those crucial blood vessels that enable an erection. Think about how you feel after eating a big plate of greasy fried food, often sluggish, heavy, maybe a bit tired. Your body is working hard to process all that fat and deal with the inflammatory load. That kind of stress on your system is the opposite of what you need for robust circulation and sexual function. It's like trying to run a marathon after eating a whole tub of lard. Your body just isn't equipped to perform at its best. So, what are the alternatives? Baking, grilling, roasting, air frying are all fantastic ways to get that crispy texture you might crave without the damaging effects of deep frying. Make your own oven-baked chips instead of buying a bag of crisps. Grill chicken instead of frying it. Look for baked alternatives to donuts or pastries. It's about retraining your taste buds a little and finding healthier ways to prepare foods, instead of relying on the convenience of the fryer. Spend a few extra minutes with your oven or grill, your body, and your blood flow. Well, thank you. These two food groups, processed meats and fried foods, are major culprits, often consumed daily or weekly by many men over 60. Cutting them back drastically is one of the most impactful steps you can take. But we're not done yet. There's more hiding in plain sight that could be holding you back. Now that we've talked about processed meats and fried foods and the damage they do to your blood vessels, let's move on to something that might seem less obvious but is just as insidious: sugary drinks. I'm not just talking about fizzy drinks like colas, though they're definitely high on the list. I'm also talking about fruit juices with added sugar, sweetened teas, sports drinks, energy drinks, and even those fancy coffee drinks loaded with syrups and cream. Why are these so bad? It's all about sugar, and specifically, liquid sugar. When you consume sugar in liquid form, it hits your bloodstream incredibly fast. There's no fiber or other nutrients to slow down its absorption. unlike eating a piece of fruit. For example, this rapid influx of sugar causes a sharp spike in your blood glucose levels. Your body then has to produce a flood of insulin to try and bring those levels back down. Over time, if this happens regularly, your cells can become resistant to insulin. This is a key step towards developing type 2 diabetes, a condition that is absolutely devastating for blood vessel health. Diabetes damages blood vessels throughout the body, including, you guessed it, the tiny ones required for an erection. It's one of the leading causes of erectile dysfunction, and sugary drinks are a major contributor to the development of insulin resistance and diabetes. But even if you don't have diabetes, regular high sugar intake from drinks promotes inflammation and oxidative stress, which further damages blood vessels. It also contributes to weight gain, particularly around the middle visceral fat, which is metabolically active and releases compounds that promote inflammation and hormonal imbalances that can negatively affect sexual function. Think of your blood vessels again. Pumping sugary liquid through them regularly is like running syrup through those hoses. It makes everything sticky, damages the insides over time, and makes it harder for things to flow smoothly. What should you drink instead? Water is your best friend. Add a slice of lemon, lime, or cucumber for flavor. Unsweetened tea and coffee in moderation are also fine. If you really crave something sweet, have a small glass of actual fruit juice. But be mindful of the sugar content even there. Or better yet, eat the whole fruit to get the fiber. Making water your primary beverage is one of the simplest yet most powerful changes you can make for your overall health and, yes, for improving blood flow. It's amazing how many people consume hundreds of calories and grams of sugar every day just from drinks without even thinking about it. Cut out the sugary drinks, and you cut a major source of vascular damage and metabolic stress. Next on our list are refined grains, like white bread, white pasta, white rice, pastries, cakes, and many breakfast cereals, similar to sugary drinks. The problem here is the lack of fiber and nutrients. When grains are refined, the bran and germ are removed, taking away the fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What's left is primarily the starchy endosperm, which your body quickly breaks down into glucose. So, just like sugary drinks, refined grains cause rapid spikes in blood sugar and insulin. Again, this contributes to insulin resistance, inflammation, and damage to blood vessels over time. It's the same mechanism as sugary drinks, just coming from a different food source. Think about the difference between eating a slice of wholemeal bread and a slice of highly processed white bread. The wholemeal bread, with its fiber, will cause a much slower and more gradual rise in blood sugar. The white bread will cause a quick spike and crash. Regularly putting your body through these blood sugar roller coasters is incredibly taxing on your system and directly harms your vascular health. Replacing refined grains with whole grains is a crucial step. Choose whole wheat bread, brown rice, whole wheat pasta, oats, and quinoa. These foods still contain carbohydrates, but the fiber helps slow down sugar absorption, supports digestive health, and provides essential nutrients. It's about choosing foods that nourish your body and support healthy blood flow, rather than those that actively undermine it. It's not about eliminating carbs entirely, but about choosing the right kinds of carbs. Making this switch is easier than you think. Start by swapping your usual bread for a whole grain option. Use brown rice instead of white. Gradually incorporate more whole grains into your meals. These small changes add up significantly over time, reducing inflammation and protecting those vital blood vessels. Finally, the fifth food group that really throws a spanner in the works is excessive unhealthy fats, particularly saturated and trans fats found in many commercially baked goods, packaged snacks, fast food, and fatty cuts of meat. While we touched on trans fats with fried foods, they're also lurking in many biscuits, cakes, pastries, and margarines. Saturated fats are found in fatty meats, butter, cheese, and tropical oils like palm and coconut oil, though the science on tropical oils is a bit more nuanced. Excessive amounts can still contribute to issues for some people. The body needs fat. Yes, but the types of fat matters immensely. Unhealthy fats, when consumed in excess, contribute to high cholesterol levels, particularly the LDL or bad cholesterol. High LDL cholesterol leads to plaque buildup in your arteries, narrowing them and reducing blood flow everywhere, including to the penis. Think of it like grease building up in a drain pipe. The water still flows, but much slower, and eventually, it might block completely. These unhealthy fats are directly contributing to that blockage in your blood vessels. Cutting back on fatty meats, choosing lean cuts, and cooking them in healthier ways, grilling. Baking makes a difference. But perhaps the biggest culprits are often the hidden fats in processed and pre-packaged foods. That pack of biscuits you snack on, the cake you have with your tea, the pastry from the bakery, the fast food burger and fries. These are often loaded with the worst kinds of fats. Replacing these with sources of healthy fats is key. Think avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, fatty fish like salmon. These fats actually support cardiovascular health and can help improve cholesterol levels. They provide the building blocks your body needs without the damaging side effects of saturated and trans fats. Making conscious choices about the fats you consume is powerful. Read labels, be aware of what's in packaged foods, and prioritize cooking at home with healthy oils. Swap out that processed snack cake for a handful of nuts or a piece of fruit. Use olive oil instead of butter or lard when cooking. These are simple switches that can have a profound impact on the health of your blood vessels and your ability to achieve erections. So, those 5 food groups, processed meats, fried foods, sugary drinks, refined grains, and excessive unhealthy fats, are the primary offenders. Avoiding or drastically reducing them is not about deprivation. It's about choosing foods that support your body and its functions. We've covered processed meats, fried foods, sugary drinks, refined grains, and excessive unhealthy fats, the 5 major culprits that can really undermine your ability to get and keep an erection as you get older. It might sound like a lot to change. Looking at that list, maybe you recognize some of these foods as things you eat regularly. It's easy to feel discouraged or overwhelmed. But here is the really important part. The surprising truth I mentioned at the beginning. These 5 foods don't just impact one specific part of your body. The reason they kill erections is because they damage your overall cardiovascular health. They promote inflammation. They lead to plaque buildup in your arteries. They mess with your blood sugar and insulin levels. They contribute to high blood pressure and high cholesterol. These are the same underlying issues that increase your risk of heart attack, stroke, type 2 diabetes, and many other age-related health problems. So, when you make the conscious effort to cut back on these 5 foods, you're not just improving your chances of a better erection, you are fundamentally improving your heart health, reducing your risk of stroke, helping to manage or prevent diabetes, lowering your blood pressure, and reducing inflammation throughout your entire body. You are investing in your overall health and longevity. It's a holistic approach. What's good for your heart is good for your erections, and vice versa. This is the surprising secret. The path to better erections after 60 is often the same path to a healthier, more vibrant, longer life. It's not some isolated issue. It's deeply connected to how well your body is functioning as a whole. Think about the positive ripple effects. When you feel healthier, have more energy, and your body is working better internally, it impacts everything. Your mood, your confidence, your ability to be active, your relationships. Feeling confident and capable in one area of life, especially one as personal as intimacy, can boost your confidence in all areas. It feeds into a positive cycle. Instead of a downward spiral of frustration and feeling like things are failing, you can start an upward trend towards feeling stronger, healthier, and more vital. Making these changes doesn't have to be drastic overnight. Start small. Pick one food group from the list that you know you eat too much of and focus on reducing it this week. Maybe it's swapping out sugary drinks for water, or choosing grilled chicken instead of fried just twice this week, or replacing your white bread with wholemeal. Small, consistent steps are much more sustainable than trying to overhaul everything at once. Celebrate the small victories. Every healthier choice you make is a step in the right direction, a step towards better blood flow, less inflammation, and a healthier you. Remember, you have the power to make these changes. You are not helpless against the effects of aging. Your diet is a powerful tool, perhaps one of the most powerful tools you have, in maintaining your health and vitality. By being mindful of what you're putting into your body, you can actively work to keep your blood vessels healthy, your circulation strong, and yes, improve your ability to get and maintain erections. It's about taking control, being proactive, and choosing foods that build you up instead of breaking you down. It's also important to be patient and persistent. Change takes time. You might not see dramatic results overnight, but stick with it. The cumulative effect of consistently making healthier choices is profound. Think of it like saving money. Small amounts saved regularly add up to a significant sum over time. The same is true for your health. Every healthy meal, every sugary drink avoided, every processed food skipped, is a deposit into your health bank. I really hope this has been helpful for you. It's a topic that many men feel uncomfortable talking about, but it's a real concern. And knowing that something as simple as changing your diet can make a difference is empowering. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you already cut back on some of these foods? Have you noticed a difference in your energy levels or perhaps other areas of your health? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might just inspire someone else. If you found this video valuable, please give it a like. It really helps the channel and lets me know that this kind of content is useful to you. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. That way, you'll be sure to get more videos like this, packed with practical tips and information to help you live your best life at every age. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Keep taking care of yourself. You are worth it. Live your best life at every age.